I'm going to tell you their suggested topics, but first I want to just show you again. I'm trying to show you all the physical things about me, and they just said traits. Well, again, this is their business, so I guess they would know better. This is my point. This is a business operation. I'm going to title this video this. It's a business operation for these people. They know all these little things that we don't know. So they kept saying all last night, they have to get me upset because they said that there are going to be people who are getting convicted or indicted because of this. I have no knowledge of that. But what I'm telling you is what I do know is that this is a business for these types of people. They know all the things and these tricks that we don't know. So they said in elementary school, they tested our DNA and they found out that I was like 20-something% white. And they said that's when they changed their attitude towards me. Again, this is something they've been talking about. They said that Felicia Allers secretly tape recorded our conversations. They said that Eric Shafir thought I would accuse him of rape, and he thought no one else would know that I would accuse him of rape. Again, this is coming from them, and that's what they said. They said that they are the ones who created this system of trying to say out loud what they thought I was thinking. So they said first of all, they said that I would think it's coming from my head. But that's my point. When this started, I got a tightness on the top of my head. I did not have that tightness before. So when they are lying about saying that they were doing this all along, what really started was I got the swelling in the face and I started to feel a tightness here. That happened probably in about 2019, 2020. So all along, I did not have the tightness in my head. And so when I told you guys it was so loud, I couldn't even focus, was when I had that tightness in my head. So every time they keep saying, well, we want you to tell us when you found out we were talking to you, I'm telling them, why don't you admit when you were talking to me? And they're not admitting it. They're really upset because they said, well, if they knew I wasn't seeing their videos while I was sleeping or seeing their images, they wouldn't have wasted their time. And that's my point. There seems to be something in these people in their heads that it doesn't make sense that they would have wasted their time anyway. Why waste your time trying to make me see images in my head or pretend that you're doing this to me instead of living your lives? Because that's their business. Like I said, this is a business operation for these folks that we didn't know about. Like regular folks like us, we didn't know about this sort of thing. So they said how this was supposed to work is that the sounds were supposed to keep me constantly involved with them. Like my brain waves would be connected to the sounds. And I'm trying to explain to somebody who has enough common sense to explain to them, if you're making these sounds out loud as you started to do once I could record it, then other people would hear and they would have known. There wouldn't be a way for elementary school kids to have heard that and not react. High school students to have heard it and not react. I worked in businesses where if you made these types of sounds, people would react. They're not understanding that there's something about these people that aren't, I'm not even sure anymore with them talking, connecting. So they said in the video where they were making the sounds and talking in the background, I got confused and I said that I may have told someone I bought it at the boutique, may have not. That was my point. These sounds cause confusion. I wasn't confused before. So if I'm suddenly confused now, this wasn't always happening. The technology, they even said the technology wasn't always invented. Exactly. So what I'm saying is this, they want to keep me looking in this direction instead of looking in this direction. And that's part of how their business operates. It's designed to keep you looking in the wrong direction. So instead of looking at them, you're looking at me. Well, most people aren't looking at me because they know I have a jitterbug phone, so there's no way I could be the one doing all of this. But that's what they planned. So they keep they're trying to evoke an emotional state. And they said, well, you're going to talk about our emotional state. Their emotional state is, like I said, they keep saying they're getting indicted, they're going to get convicted. They lied to the FBI to say that they were running this as a business. And that's my point. They said, well, wouldn't it be charitable for me to lie to the FBI and claim that I was always involved with these people? No, it's a lack of charity for me to lie. First of all, they keep saying that they're going to out every lie, and then they expect me to lie to the FBI. I mean, one thing is to accuse me of lying about whether I bought a shirt at a boutique. The other thing would be to have me lie to the FBI. I mean, come on. So that's one big lie. The other big lie is that they've said they found people that I was related to suddenly emerge in 2016. Isn't that a big deal? Like, could you imagine, like, I start a job, everything in my life is going great, and all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork and they're like, we're related to you. You haven't spoken to us in like 20 something, 30 years. We weren't close to begin with. And now suddenly these people are claiming that they're my family and we're so close and they have stories. No, that doesn't make any sense. So they said, well, what they did was they used Felicia's stories to give to these people, and some stories from like the 1980s or 70s when I was a little kid. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Again, that isn't a savvy business operation. So if they're going to claim that this was all along a business operation, and then suddenly they're coming up with someone's stories that these people aren't dependable or reliable people, then there's a problem. And that's part of what I'm explaining to you. There seems to have been something that happened in 2016. And they said, oh, I'll tell you what they also said. They said that in 2016, when people were when I say breaking into the boutique, they would run into the boutique, snatch like a stack of polos. Like when I say a stack, I mean like multiple polos. We had a stack of like maybe 5 or 6 polos. They just grab multiple stacks. They said what they were saying out loud in the PA system was that they were my relatives. I don't know those people. Isn't that part of the problem? You notice that the thing about these people is that they keep trying to involve me in crime. So they said they found members, a brother's family that they thought were criminals, and that they were connected to me by saying that I involved these people. That doesn't even make any sense. But when you say it out loud to regular people, they're like, well, that doesn't make any sense at all. So they said another thing is that there were certain songs that they thought they played when I was a little girl. Now, I'm 49. They're going to cut me off because this video is coming up with too much truth and too factual.